So today we are going to be looking at centre mids. We have not done them in a while, and in general there is going to be plenty to go through. We still need to go into La Liga team of the season, and there has also now been confirmation that Tottenham will receive, I think like 10 or 12, I don't know if it's going to be 11 in fact for the people on the pitch, 11 road to the finals or champions of the finals, and they're all going to be like 96 rated, so we're going to get some centre mids. I think Bentancur will obviously be quite a decent one in terms of a centre mid, so they are going to come in the next few days or maybe even the next week. But in terms of centre mids we've got right now, there is some absolute ballers in there, and to be honest, you could throw in a Hullet at the number one spot in my opinion. Now, there is lots of different ways to upgrade players like this now. We've got a new evolution glitch which is on the channel that can turn a 94 into a 95 at the minimum. So the way that you would do something like this is put him into a team of the season recolor. So it does, so for instance, for Hullet, if you was going to do it just as a one-off, say he was going to give him the finesse shot from the season pass, which is like level 30 something, you'd make him into a team of the season evolution because of that. That would give him the finesse shot plus, giving him 4 playstyle pluses. You then put him into the team of the season recolor, which puts him as a team of the season rarity, and then also in the team of the season Serie A Cup evolution, you could then give him a +1, making him a 95 with +1s on all of the stats, and also then that extra playstyle plus. It's just an interesting one if you've got a player like that in mind. Now, in terms of kind of the players that we've got that could do with EVOs, I think Havertz is going to be a great shout for this. He was necessarily a solid option you could have gone for in the past. I didn't really like him as the striker option, but most definitely as a centre mid, I don't think it's the worst, to be honest. I do think you're looking at him, I mean, if you could get a solid upgrade for him, you could add like a nice kind of extra playstyle plus there, maybe even go for a double, but there is definitely room for a lovely improvement. So if you're looking for coins, check in the description for El Dorado. Depending on the coin amount that you're looking for, the delivery time is displayed on the website, and you'll see lots of different trusted sellers with reviews on specifics and also the ability to be able to pick who you want. It will also show how much they have in stock, and obviously you can see that they are verified members. There is 100% refund ability and also 24/7 support if you need any questions with your coin needs. Also, if you head over to Trustpilot as well, you can see over 30,000 upvotes for them. You can see how reliable they are. Obviously great feedback across the entire board with El Dorado. So when on checkout, make sure you are using the code JT11 for 5% off your order every time. Discount code JT11. Now let's get back to the video. Now when we look at the likes of Putellas, of Bonmati, if we look at a Valverde, they are all getting upgrades. Putellas is definitely one that has managed to already get her upgrade. She's going to be in Liga F. It has already been confirmed. The only thing I don't think that has been confirmed as of yet is going to be the full cards, playstyle plus and stats. It might do by the end of this video or when you're watching this. But when you do look at the standard cards, obviously the team of the year now, I mean, as a centre mid, you're still going to get a solid amount out of her. She's still a 5-star. And to be honest, Bonmati more than likely will be there as well. I'm assuming Barca won, or Barca females won the league. I actually don't know, so if you do know, let me know down below. 79,000 for the Bonmati as the 94. Wasn't that impressive, to be honest. I really would say now at this point, you could maybe get something out of her, but realistically, I just would let her go. The team of the year is still a nice card, obviously having the stats at slightly better pace, but then also having at least a tiki-taka plus was adding some level to her. Now, I've always personally preferred Putellas in this scenario, and if we were looking at it, I'd probably miss out on the 94. She's not going to be EVO'd anytime soon as well, but when it comes to the team of the years, I personally would always go with Bonmati now in the very usable, and I think Putellas could still put in a shift as good as she can, and that's just down to my personal playstyle plus preferences as such. If we was to go kind of with the Bellingham sort of cards, he again is going to be another one that is bound to get an upgrade. If you've ever seen one, Real Madrid will end up with loads anyway. So that's going to be already confirmed with Mbappe being in there and Bellingham most definitely getting one as well. We've got the two variants. Obviously, it's got loads of cards, but if we were looking at kind of the two that I would say are the most important, the 94 and also the 97. With the 97, stats-wise, is still going to be incredible. The only other one, in fact, I actually should have added would be an EVO for the 89. Like I said, with the ability to save us to do this and then to upgrade in one more with that 95 glitch, I mean, it's an interesting one to say the least. Now, obviously, we were looking at the kind of normal centre mid. I'd possibly go for the FUT birthday to just be in that usable. And to be honest, as team of the season goes, he probably would be dropped down to just more usable. I do like Bellingham as just a player in the game. Like, the playstyle pluses are irrelevant for him in some aspects. It's kind of like a Virgil. His body type, how they've built in the game, how his run type's added, his accelerate type, it just works really, really well in the game. Another one that does do that, and I'm going to put him in the Evo for now because this 91 De Jong is incredible. Now, hopefully, we more than likely see him as any sort of team of the season. We did get the road to the final, which unfortunately did kind of pass us, 93 rated, but we did get this one in the winter wildcard, which now has the ability to have some absolutely stunning upgrades, which you could see right here. Like, look at that for an upgrade. Built different, great stats across the board. Again, if you go for something like an anchor, that is a sensational centre mid. That's one of my personal favourites. So looking at that as the Evo, I'm thinking yes. Now, looking at the 93, he's going to take a little bit longer to get the upgrade, so it's going to be the 91 in more of a favoured spot. I would still say that De Jong is another one like Bellingham. He's always been incredible in the game. Naturally, I've got to kind of pull it down a little bit as he will get a better card at some point, hopefully tomorrow. We will see anyway. Kind of going through a few more of the lower ones. You got Bentaleb, you've got Andre. It's a solid card. Like, I mean, you look at him with the team of the season, and it's a lovely card. It's cheap, he's affordable, and he's most definitely got some lovely stats. Great intercept, which I personally like. Tiki-taka's not terrible. Incisive, I think, is great. He's got himself the 4-4, and the stats are at a solid level. He has got the ability to go up as well. There has been a few upgrades across the board for 92s, so it's already at the point where he could get an Evo as well. Bentaleb, a little bit less, because naturally, he's going to get himself no upgrades on an evolution for a while, but he's still got some possibility to be in and around there. Billing would definitely be in that sort of category as well of an Evo. Unfortunately, Mainu's going to be the Evo as well. I do like the card, and as much as he kind of is that CDM character, he plays the centre mid really well as well, and especially if we could get a quadruple playstyle plus on him at some point in the future, he's going to be a great box-to-box sort of centre mid. It is just a shame that he didn't get the 96, but to be honest, they didn't deserve it in the first place. So it is kind of what it is. But I would say Evo would be where I personally would go with him. Kind of similar to Gavi. I think he would be another one now. We're getting into them 92s instead of them being a miss. We've got some big names that could generate an Evo at some point. Marquisio is most definitely another one. You might be able to get a bit more use out of him, but built different is going to be a massive one for a lot of these centre mid CDM types that we've got. We also then have a road to the final that is still in use. We have got Fratesi, I want to say I pronounced his name. I probably butchered it. But the goal scorer in the semi-final has managed to get himself a road to the final, which is absolutely brilliant. And in general, he's got himself the incisive, the tiki-taka, and the relentless. Whether we see an upgrade with him, obviously, there is a few more you can do there, but he's still got the final coming on the 1st of June, I want to say. I'm pretty sure it's the 1st. It's whatever weekend that is. But in general, it's got the chance to go to that 96, which would be incredible. I'm pretty sure the Champions League is the same. Yeah, one upgrade on 96, 5-star on one. So it would be a 5-5 with a 96. It's going to be an interesting card to say the least. So I think for right now, it's got to have to be like the Evo is going to wait for him to evolve as such, because I can't put him in miss. He's not going to be played as a 91, but most definitely does get to that 96. Would be very, very interesting indeed. Looking at a few of the more topper players, João Neves obviously puts himself there. Vitinha would be the one under there, kind of like the A tier and the B tier a little bit. We got Reyners. Now, he is a great card. He has been on everybody's kind of evolution top 10 in the past year, and he's got himself a cheap, nice, affordable card, to be honest. You look at something like an anchor for him, you got yourself some solid stats. 96, 91, 96, 95, 94, 95. I mean, it's a very nice card. He's got a triple playstyle plus on his passing. Would have been nice to maybe have had an intercept or something, but beggars can't be choosers with that one. He would definitely put himself into that very usable, and who knows, whether we get a one going forward could be very interesting to say the least. We then move on to a Gravenberch. Now, personally for me, he's been one of my favourites. He is just exceptional on the ball. There might not be everybody that agrees with that, but sometimes you play with some players and they're They suit the style down to the ground. Even with the price, I just really like this card. He works really well. He's quick on the ball. He's got a great pass on him. Shooting wise wasn't terrible, but that's kind of not what I wanted him for. His defensive ability was amazing, and just in general, his overall prowess on the ball was very, very good for my personal kind of playthrough. So he's always going to be one that I would put in the absolute top of the top. Fred, I would still give him a bit of usability, to be honest. I think the playstyle pluses with the upgrade is most definitely there. We look kind of a bit further down and looking at a few of the icons. I think you could maybe get a little bit out of Xavi. Like, I mean, he's not going to be the best in this option. I think he's still got some great stats. Obviously, the main attribute that he had was that 99 passing, which is always interesting. When we do look at someone like Abile, she's coming in with the 93. Most of these icons are going to be, unfortunately, just a little bit out of their depth. As much as the playstyle pluses are nice, she's just not going to be against some of these top players. The stats, unfortunately, just don't line up. Unless you are the Matthias of the game, the Foudy, the Sauer, who got the upgrade right before, and a solid upgrade at the least. They're just not going to be used. So you're more than likely going to miss pretty much all of them. Sauer's probably only there at this point now because of the SBC. She's got some solid stats, but realistically, you're just not going to use them. I would say even the likes of Gerrard is still at the point where I'm like, are you really using a Gerrard over any of these players? Probably not. Like realistically, if you think, are you going to use a Gerrard over a Vitinha? I'm personally not. Unless I need the links, I'm not using him over Fred. I'm not using him over Reyners. Probably take Andre over him, to be honest. He's got the better stats all round, and most definitely has got that boost in attributes. Now Matthias he's there as well. Like Hullet's just a different kettle of fish. Matthias is most definitely not on that same sort of level as what he was. Like, he's a great card, and playstyle pluses are decent, stats are decent, but he's still not, he's not the new. Now, that's what everybody likes. They like the new. So I personally would put him down a little bit. I don't think he has the impact he has had in previous years. Renato Sanchez, definitely with the upgrade, especially with the build different, is going to be there in my opinion. I would personally miss out on Ericsson. As much as the SBCAA was just too expensive for what he is anyway, but he's just not going to be that guy, unfortunately, in my opinion. McAllister, I would definitely put in kind of that usable category. I think they could have made him better. I really like the grassroots. They kind of upped the card at quite a considerable amount, but the team of the season just felt a little bit flat. Same with Edison. It's just, again, another one that it's solid. It's got the technical long ball, but it's kind of just stats, and that's about it, really. Llorente as well, one which hopefully gets some sort of upgrade. He's kind of an interesting middleman at this point. He has not really got any of the upgrades at the moment, so I think for right now you could maybe get some use out of him, but realistically it depends on if you are looking for a certain position with him. I think he could still play the right mid, the centre mid, the right back, but it's definitely going to be at a lower capability. It's hard because he's like one rating away from the Evo. I would almost like to put him in that usable, but just at the bottom, because I think if you give him a little bit of time with a third playstyle plus, he could really put himself back on that map. Without it, especially with just a quick step, it's kind of a bit of a strange one for a centre mid, in my opinion anyway. And we kind of got a lot of the new cards. Beckham is another one that, to be fair, I think with an upgrade he's going to be brilliant. I think with this one, he's got, it's hard with him because he's got a solid amount of everything, but the playstyle plus lacking is going to really diminish it, in my opinion. And to be honest, I'm surprised it's still that expensive. Like, really? I mean, I suppose you could still put him right mid, maybe, but as a centre mid, I'd go usable. As much as I think centre mid-wise, if you're thinking you've not got very little defensive attributes, it's going to be more of that sort of cam right mid still. You definitely need that big upgrade on that defensive side of it, and then maybe he could talk, but I think he's going to be more of a right mid, right wing in this position. We then see Stanway, we see Taylor, see a bit of Tolisso, I would say, as well. Van der Beek, also another great card that throws himself in, which was from the season pass, I want to say, level 25. Solid card across the board, to be honest. That's not a bad one, to say the least. Yes, he's not the number one in that position, but he's most definitely up there at the very, very minimum. Valverde is going to be another interesting one as he hopefully gets something. I don't know if he's actually done enough, to be honest, but I've been seeing bangers after bangers with him. So whether we see kind of a moments or an honourable mentions with him, he definitely could do with that upgrade. I think this card now is in that usable territory, but he's most definitely going really low down on this one. Rabiot, obviously Thuram, they're kind of just in there. Williams, I'd miss out on now, to be honest. Ramirez, again, very much like the Beckham. I mean, he's got some use in him, but I think he needs that evolution to really pump up them levels, in my opinion. We have Barella, who I think could have been better. He's obviously a great card. He's Italian. He's obviously in Inter, and he's got everything, but they just ruined him with the playstyle pluses. He should be in that meta of the absolute top. He really should, but the technical, the press proven, the pinged pass, it's just not enough. The stats are sensational with him, but it isn't enough for him, unfortunately. We have got Hoof. Z Roberto is another one that I think is due the upgrade at some point. He is a brilliant card if you could have got him, but I do think he's kind of putting himself more into that usable category now. Emery, again, another one that should have some sort of upgrade. And then finally done, we are going to throw down in the bottom, and that is going to be the centre mid list for today. Let me know if you agree, disagree, and we'll see you for La Liga Team of the Season. Peace.